geeks, freaks, and all those unique. It's MC Frotus, and we're talking about The Mandalorian Chapter 7, The Believer. Do I have to? Yeah, I'm thinking about it, and I've been thinking about it since I watched last night. Um, this might be my least favorite episode of The Mandalorian yet. Um, and yeah, no, maybe it's because was so hyped with the last two episodes, and I thought, oh, they're just gonna keep on going, and it's just gonna keep building, and basically, like, the last four episodes are gonna be like a big, almost movie, like if you put all four of them together. But no, instead we got another frickin' fetch quest, and seriously, like, it just... And I feel like I'm taking crazy pills because, I mean, usually I watch other people's reviews after I record mine, but I was so set in my opinion on this one that I'm like, yeah, you know what, I'm going to watch some other people's videos because I knew I wasn't going to be getting to this one until later. And it seems like a lot of people really liked this one. And so I'm like, what's, like, why am I so different than everybody else? Like, I mean, I get that, everybody can have their own opinion, but I was just like, I'm really just baffled as to why my opinion was so different than everybody else's. Because, yeah, so this episode, we get Mayfeld out of prison right away, and he's like, oh, well, we got to get this code that's on this planet, so let's go do a stupid fetch quest to this Imperial planet. And basically he sits in a transport with Mando, and they have these deep philosophical conversations, and then there's this action sequence, this very typical fighting on top of a moving vehicle thing. And then the episode, there is a small bit of the episode that I will admit was interesting. But yeah, it was mostly this, side quest thing. And yes, we get some insight into Mando. But here is my problem with this. I don't like Bill Burr. I really don't. I don't like him as an actor. I don't like him as a person. I think he's an asshole. Which I try not to let that affect my opinion on people. Though, I mean, I also have that problem this episode with the fact that other than Mando and Mayfeld, the person with the third most stuff in this episode is Kara. So then I've also got the that going on. So but yeah, Bill Burr, I don't care for him. I think he's a jerk, and I think that comes out in the characters that he plays, and I don't feel like this episode gave me any reason to like Mayfeld more than I did before, and I didn't like him before. So yeah, it had a lot against it, and I mean, one of the things that made this episode really hard for me to enjoy, I think, was a feature, not a bug. Grogu not being there took so much out of the show. Grogu is Mando's heart and is the heart of the show. So I think not having him there, first of all, puts Mando off balance and puts the show off balance. But still makes it really hard for me to watch because I, watch for that relationship between them. And I kind of want to go back and watch some previous episodes just so I can have a little bit of a palate cleanser. But I didn't like going back to the fetch quest thing. And I don't find Mayfeld to be an interesting character, and I didn't find him any more interesting after this episode. I could see where they were going to be going with it. You know, it was going to be this whole still waters run deep thing. And, you know, we're not so different, you and I understand what your, you know, philosophy is, but maybe your philosophy is not right. Maybe some other things are more important. And, oh, we're going to let you go because, of course, I mean, I guess, like, Star Wars does that a lot, where it's just, like, people are forgiven very easily, but it's like, did he really do all that much to really justify being freed? Yeah. I guess a Kylo Ren fan shouldn't really judge people being forgiven or not. But I did find the scene of Din without his helmet interesting. And first of all, Pedro Pascal is a good looking guy, so I like seeing him without his helmet on. I'm surprised it's taken it this long for him to remove his helmet, because I thought I had heard that Pedro Pascal wanted to have more scenes without his helmet on, which granted, he did have more scenes with his helmet off than he did last season. And maybe we'll still get more next episode. And the stuff that I did find interesting in this episode was the whole it being a matter of degrees, you know, like the Mandalorian code is to not take off your helmet, but Din is willing to take off his helmet to put on another helmet. And is that really any different than just showing people his face? And then seeing how uncomfortable he is outside of his armor was really kind of cool. Just because that armor is a second skin to him. And he doesn't know how to really function without it on. And Mayfeld had to help him. So that stuff was interesting. But other than that, I was kind of upset that we get Boba Fett and Fennec Shan in another episode, and they're just wasted. They're just there. And I mean, yes, they come through at the very end, but they're kind of just waiting there to be like the get out of jail free card. I thought Boba Fett painting his armor was cool. I mean, first of all, we've never seen Boba Fett's armor look so just nicely and freshly painted, which, you know, I think really speaks to the change in Boba Fett that seems to be happening. But I just kept on thinking as that was happening. It was just like, so when they were picking up Mayfeld, was like Boba Fett and Slave One just like spray painting the armor, and he's like, no, don't touch it, it's still wet. I don't know, but this is gonna be a short video because there really is not a lot for me to say. I was not a fan of this one. I'm tired. Yeah, I can't really say anything other than I did not care for it. I mean, it was fine. It was, you know, still better than a lot of other television shows I've watched, but I've got higher standards for The Mandalorian, and I just didn't care for it. So I'm still looking forward to seeing what happens next week. And I'm interested in seeing what happens to all these other shows that they've now announced. I had considered doing a video about that, but I don't really do a whole lot of news on this channel. And everybody's been covering the Star Wars news, so you don't really need me regurgitating all of the news that's happened. I'm in the middle of school exams, so I actually had an exam today, so hence me being like really tired. But I mean, just since this is the most timely thing I'll be putting out, I'll only do this in this video. Super looking forward to Rogue Squadron. I mean, how can I not be? Like, that looks freaking badass, and it's Rogue Squadron. Like, I'm pumped. I really want Rogue Squadron. Ahsoka, I mean, like, we knew it was coming, but so glad to see that it's there. I'm assuming that we're going to see live action Sabine and Ezra, because it does seem to be that it's a little implied that that's going to be the Ezra saving show, maybe. I'm hoping. And the Rangers of the New Republic, is that the Cara Dune show? Like, because if it is, like, I might have to stay away from it. But if it's the guy from Kim's Convenience, then maybe I'll have to watch that. I don't know. There's a lot of different ways they can go with that. And Lando show. I mean, I know it's going to be Donald Glover, but I really hope they do, like, bookends with Billy D. Williams, like, telling the story, like, and then we flash back. Kind of like they did for the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles. I'd really like to see that. And then so many other things, like, we got, like, all of the Star Wars things. I mean, certainly they've realized that The Mandalorian works. So let's, put a lot of stuff onto Disney Plus and really let's really put work into Disney Plus, because we don't know what's going to be happening with cinemas. So since people are really happy with the original shows, let's keep going with that. So tell me down below what you thought of Chapter 7, The Prisoner. Not Chapter 7. Whatever episode this was. Comment down below with your thoughts on The Prisoner. I think it's episode 7. I don't know. I don't care. But what you thought of this episode, and what you thought of the news of everything Disney Plus, and Star Wars. You can comment down below. If you like my videos, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I do lots of videos on Star Wars, Star Trek, and other geekery. If you want to support me, you can go to my Patreon, or you can buy me a coffee. If you're looking for Christmas gifts, then you can go to my TeePublic or Redbubble. Today I am wearing my bisexual Rebel Pride shirt. So until next time, live long and may the Force be with you.